Real quickly, we'll come right back to you. We've got some breaking news in L.A. where the coroners have finally formally released Michael Jackson's cause of death. Cara Finstrom, what do you have?
Well, Kira, this is the press release that was just handed to us a short while ago by the coroner's office. The headline here is that they have determined that Michael Jackson's death back on June 25th was a homicide. Also interesting here, Kira, is that they established the cause of death as both acute propofol intoxication. Propofol, of course, is the powerful sedative we've been talking about that Michael Jackson was using to try and battle his insomnia. And then also other conditions contributing to death, benzodiazepine effect. This is another drug that he had in his system. The coroner's report, press release rather, that was released today goes on to say that the drugs propofol and lorazepam were found to be the primary drugs responsible for his death, with a number of other drugs found in his system. Now, Kira, just a short while ago, some court documents that were released, did kind of lay out what police detectives had found out about the hours leading up to his death, that he had taken a total of 5 other types of drugs before getting the propofol. So it's interesting in this press release that it does paint the picture that, while the primary drug of concern is propofol, that it does point to a number of other drugs that may have also played a role in his death.
So bottom line, is Conrad Murray going to be charged with homicide?
That's the big question now. This is from the coroner, and this is his finding. He can determine, whether this is a homicide, whether this is a natural death, whether it was a suicide, whether it was accidental causes. And what he has found is that this was not accidental, that this was a homicide. So now it's in the hands of the police department. Also in this press release, it does tell us that, the complete toxicology report, which would lay out everything that was in his system, as well as the final coroner's report, are not being released. They're giving us these few details, but at the request of the police department, they're holding on to that further information.
All right, we'll keep tracking it. And Sanjay Gupta, I understand you're with us now. You're hearing this news that they're talking about acute propofol intoxication and then other conditions contributing to the death. And it's the
benzodiazepines.
Thank you. Easier for you to say. Effects of that. Can you kind of put that into perspective of how lethal you bring those together, the amount, etc.?
Sure. Yeah. We got some real specific details a few days ago about all the various medications that Michael Jackson was given, and the times that he was given. You may remember this, Kira. It was over a period of just a few hours that he was given medications like Valium, which is a medication a lot of people have heard of, Versed, and Ativan. Those are the medications you were just mentioning. They're sedatives known as benzodiazepines, and he was given doses of these sort of periodically over just a few hours, and that was something that was in an affidavit that came out last week. What was concerning, and I think even back then raised a lot of eyebrows, was propofol being given on the morning of June 25th, about 25 milligrams is what we heard was given to him at that point. This is a medication, as we have seen, can very quickly cause someone to go into respiratory depression, meaning that they simply can't breathe on their own. It's a medication often used for general anesthesia. I had never heard of it used outside a hospital setting until we'd started reporting this story over the last couple of months. So that medication alone outside a hospital setting could cause death. What's interesting now, as Cara Finstrom just reported, is that they're saying that this is homicide, intentional, I guess, from a legal standpoint, which is it's going to be interesting to see how they piece that all together.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting to hear, too, if indeed Conrad Murray, Michael Jackson's doctor, will be charged with homicide now that the coroner has released this report. Sanjay Gupta, thanks. We're going to take a quick break. More from the CNN Newsroom straight ahead.